Hi, it's me again, Lynn here. Good afternoon. Hope you are having a fun day and feeling, top of the world. Well, we should all, behave and feel great and good about yourself. Okay, so I did mention it yesterday or late evening about I'm going to have a session of stock take formula and so on and so forth. But I gave it a thought. I should talk something about emotional link for everyone who is working as team and teams across departments, yeah? Because I haven't actually introduced myself in detail. I'm a behaviorist by qualification. I have a PhD in human behavior. So this is what my major field of study, about 4.5 years. I got my PhD, my doctorate degree in Utah, Salt Lake City. Although I speak with a bit of a British accent, but I finished my PhD in America, Salt Lake City. So anyway, let's begin something to do with emotional link with your superior, with your leaders, or even with your colleagues. It is such an important and critical, I used to use all these words all the time, that you need to have emotional link with one another. So in order to deliver quality performance, good results out of superseded your expectations from your bosses, even by yourself, your daily goals, you have to have emotional link. And I believe it's also you got to have ownership. Take ownership of what you're doing, take ownership of your store, and have a guess who's supposed to be the owner of a store in the supermarket. Definitely is the store manager. Okay, so all the teams, all the employees, we call it colleagues, we don't call my staff, and it's quite important to respect one another. And how do you have emotional link with your boss, with your colleagues? This is quite, it is emotional cycle of change. That's what I study. I read quite a bit of, there's a professor by the name of Elizabeth Kloops, about 120 years ago. I studied quite in depth of what her research, And in order to make somebody change, you have to be a good influencer, number one. So number one here, you have to be a good influencer. Influencer, yeah? And you have to be a good listener. And of course, you got to have great communications. You got to communicate and meet up with all your team members. If you can't meet them or you can't see them on a daily basis, you have to see them at least once a week. Can you imagine a store manager never ever say hi to your team members for a week? And some of the store managers, quite sadly to say, he or she doesn't know who has just joined the company. Certain new employees came into your store and started to work, and as a store manager you don't know who is she, yeah? And where can you get your respect if you don't go when you don't display your humility, you know, and it's very hard to gain respect, and far away from getting teamwork, what you call corporations and collaboration, and how on earth you can achieve all your KPIs. Headquarters or head office is far away. They don't visit us every now and then. Even if they do, they only see certain things on the surface, and that is the fact. So the store manager and the division managers or section managers, each company have their different ways of calling roles and positions in the company, needs to work hand in hand. And something that I'm proudly to say that in order to achieve your KPIs and deliver a substantial pool of talents is through training, leading by example, start the ball rolling, yeah, and working shoulder to shoulder and heart to heart. So this is how you achieve your deliverables and your KPIs, and even you can even supersede or achieve even higher than what is expected of you. So first of all, it's a human nature, yeah, human nature. The moment you see or heard something which is new coming to your life, your work life, your personal life or your professional life, you will definitely portray a screen or some kind of a block. So in behavior or behaviorism terms, we call it denial. That's the first stage. And this stage, it will take some time, because you need to, how shall I say, build a bridge with your people. And especially when you are just got promoted or you are a new kid on the block, people is quite a common element in human nature that, you know, who is this person coming in and giving me orders? So as a good leader, first of all, the first step is to get to know your team. If you have 100 or 200 people in your store, you got to work via your section managers, your department managers, or even your division managers, yeah, and get to know them first. That's the first layer that you got to, the hurdle, the first hurdle that you got to jump over. Then as you talk to them and find out their strength and their forte and their likes and what are the things that they are not very keen to do, yeah. So this is you should start the conversation by getting to know them, and how many members are in their teams, and what is the effort they put in by individual or working together as a group. And in a day, how do we achieve a certain task? Let's say, all right, so and so, please take out 20 bags of rice on a pallet. And that is what you call smart instructions, right? Smart instructions. So how shall I put this? When I say smart instructions, S-M-A-R-T, each of this letter has something to follow it. So what is S? When you speak to somebody who is in your team, no matter what kind of level the person is, you've got to be specific. So that is S. M, something that it is measurable. A, achievable. You can't ask her or him to go to the sky and pluck something from, to the moon or anywhere else. Or if you are in Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia, that's where I'm residing right now, Okay, get something in Penang or go to Kelantan, you know, the East Coast. That is not achievable, isn't it? Yeah. And then R, realistic. That means something which is you can achieve. Something is real. Or climb the tree and, you know, bring down all the fruits. So that is not realistic at all. Or today I want you to do 20 pallets of that A brand. You know, it's not achievable, that's not realistic. And the last, nevertheless the least of all, is timeline. You have to mention the timeline. Okay, I'll come back and see what you have done, you know. I'll see if you have any problems. Can I give a helping hand? Yeah, supportive. Yeah. How long? An hour. After lunch. Even if you say after lunch, you got to say what time. And when you utter those words from your mouth, you got to define it and you got to deliver it, and you have to come back and what you promise. After an hour, you got to come back after an hour, and with a great heart, and you say, hey, give those really positive praises, you know. Well done, that's brilliant of you. Wow, this is superb, you know. And then when you see something which is not quite up to what you expected them to do, you should say, oh, do you need any help? How can I help? And then on the other hand, if you want to learn something from your team, yeah, even if he's from the entry position for that matter, you should use words like, I would like to learn something from you. Oh, show me how you done this. This is really excellent. I would like to learn from you. You know. So these kinds of vocabulary, yeah, in any kind of language. You can speak in Malay, you can even speak in Chinese if you do Chinese very well. I'm not very fluent in Chinese or English, but English is a common medium of instructions in any international or local companies, which is a business language. Yeah? One more thing is no harm in sharing a language. Teach them something which you think you can deliver better in your work. Let's say pallets. I can't really gel with a Malay word saying besides pallets. You can use the word papan, but it doesn't really carry the right thing that you want, you know. So it is good that you share any kind of terminology or supermarket jargon which make everyone's life easier. So this is what I'm saying, emotional link. And it is quite a bit of challenge there, and as they say, Rome is not built in a day. So maybe you take weeks, months, some hours, yeah. But you got to start from somewhere, and the starting point is where you need to be very careful. Sink or fall is what comes up from your mouth. So I think, yeah, we'll take about, let us come back again, yeah? We'll talk more in inventory management later. But think of what I say about emotional link, emotional cycle of change, denial, how you break the ice. And the second stage, I would like to give you a little bit of hunch or a hint, is they will fall into a gorge when nobody is talking to them. If a leader of the store do not talk to them when you came in as a new manager or a new leader, the block and the screen will be quite stubborn staying there. And the length of what you call steadfastness of your team will be longer if you do not show some humility of yourself. All right, so You have a good day ahead. I'll come back to you in the later part of the day. So see you later. Bye now.